This is a very different video from what I typically make, but I wanted to go over the 9 biggest problems that golfers face according to ChatGPT. So hang with me, I'm going to jump in and out here. I filmed these on the golf course, so I'm going to fill in some of the gaps, I guess, in the knowledge because we were walking between fairways. It was kind of quick. So I'm going to fill in some of the gaps that I didn't talk about throughout, but let's go ahead and hop in. This is the number 1 problem that golfers face. Let's go. Number 1, swing consistency. You should see the pop-up over there. The biggest, solver, I guess, of swing consistency is practicing. I know it seems very simple, but there's so many people that walk out and expect to play great and haven't played in a long time, right? You can't go out there and expect to shoot 75 if you haven't hit a range ball in 2-3 weeks, or any ball for that matter. Right? It's muscle memory. All right, so topic number 2 here is putting accuracy. And I think anytime somebody says, I'm a bad putter, more times than not, they're talking about like 4 or 5 footers that they just miss a lot. And I always ask them, how many hours a week are you spending on 4 to 5 footers? And I'm gonna go 97% of the time. The answer is less than an hour. Yes, 97% is completely made up, but it gives you a good representation of a vast majority that don't practice these 4 to 5 footers. And it doesn't count when you go out there and hit 3 of them or 4 of them before you walk on the tee in 10 minutes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about hundreds over the course of weeks. I'm talking about going out there for an hour, all you do is 4 or 5 footers. That's how you really take those 4 to 5 footers to the next level. If you're okay with, missing 3 or 4 of them around, by all means, go ahead. But most golfers get really frustrated. And I'm telling you, this is how you get better at it. You literally just have to go and hit a lot of those putts. You can listen, you cannot, but that's the answer. Every pro will tell you that. That's why they all are out there hitting 5-foot putts every time you see them on a putting green. Let's jump on to number 3. I think the best way to learn course management, though, is watching the pros. I mean, they literally study course management. Like that is the, experts, the PhDs, if you will, of the course management world. So, break. Oh! All right. Yeah, so if typically you know what to do, right? If I told you there was water right, what would you tell me? Hit the ball left, right? It's pretty simple stuff, but go ahead, Abe, whenever you're ready. It's pretty simple stuff, but we just psych ourselves out, and it's more of an emotional control thing than it is a knowledge thing, right? It's more of a behavior thing, because everybody knows if there's water right, you don't hit it right? You don't mess with the water. Obviously, there's some, lay up or go for it that are kind of, more in the gray area. But for the most part, you just gotta keep yourself emotionally centered enough to make a smart decision. Mental toughness. Next topic. This is topic number 4. This is a tough one because it's very different for many different people, right? Everybody's kind of got their own things they got to work through. Through my experience of playing with random people all over, the biggest thing is people using the word all, always, or never. Some version of that, right? Always and never are just the opposites. When you start saying, I always hook drives, or I never hit the fairway, or those kind of things, you kind of start, lowering your mental status, I guess, in your brain. And not saying you need to be egotistical out here, just completely, saying, oh my gosh, I'm the best. But you have to have a little bit of ego just to play the game and have enough confidence. Confidence is probably a better word. So that's what I've noticed, you really need to eliminate those 3 words, all, always, and never. I think that's really what it boils down to, just controlling your mind, controlling what you're thinking about. If you're wondering, well, how do I control my mind? I got 2 things for you. 1, you can play worst ball off the tee or worst ball captain's choice with yourself If you want a way to really work on your mental toughness, that's what's really helped me. And secondly, going back to not using those like cue words, if you will, that trigger you to be angry at yourself, mad, and throw clubs, those kind of things. Find, when you get mad, find what triggered that. Obviously it's going to be a shot, but what in your mind, what were you telling yourself that triggered that? And then try to, reduce those and eventually eliminate those. For me, it's been always and never. If I can eliminate those 2 words in a round, it normally goes really well. So I hope that helps you. And let's jump over to number 5, ?
All right, number 5 ChatGPT topic here is inconsistent ball striking. I think we got to go back to hole 1 there where we were talking about repetitive swing. It all comes down to practice. I think we talked about it on hole 2 as well, maybe hole 3. Very recurring theme. Hopefully you're picking up on it. Inconsistent ball striking is almost completely fixed by practice. And if you think you're practicing enough, find someone better than you, ask how many balls they hit or how many hours they hit, whatever you're struggling with, and see if you're measuring up. If you're doing that, just keep doing it. Eventually you'll get there. Next topic from ChatGPT here is lack of distance. I have 2 recommendations. 1, go to the gym. And 2, stack system right here. So far I've had this for 3.5 weeks or so. I've gained 5 miles an hour of club head speed, which equates to
15 yards.
15 to 20 yards, depending on, I feel like I hit it better with it too. So I'd say it's probably close to 20 yards if you're interested in that. It's a pretty cool system. Our next topic is short game. Perfect. We have a short game shot.
Do you speak any English?
Oh my gosh, words. For me, the biggest things are just being smooth. I hate to see it when people try to make it like a full swing and like do something like that with their feet wide apart. Like, it is a different shot and a different swing than your full swing. And the people who don't separate it and end up looking like this are the ones that absolutely blade it or shank it, because it's just, your body can't sync up like that. So you have to make it a different swing, which means, you have to go and practice it just as much as you do on the range to be able to, keep them close together. It's gotta sit. Bunker play. I would say probably the most under-practiced thing of anything in golf. I mean, it's really not as hard as, you can go look up a YouTube tutorial. I'm not gonna, go through the whole breakdown here, but it's really not as hard as people make it out to be. And they just get scared because they don't know how. This is probably one of the biggest knowledge gaps in golfers. Would you agree with that, Abe?
Yes.
Yeah, like, people don't understand how open you need to make the face. So if I had to give you
full
one,
swing it too. Don't just chip it out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, full swing it and open up the face way more than you think. If you do those 2 things, you'll be better. Okay, you'll be better. Not perfect, but better. Topic 8, equipment fit. Probably the most overused excuse in all of history and humanity. Okay? Excuse, yes. Equipment fit is good.
Yeah.
Equipment fit will help you hit the ball better. But it is not why you were shooting 120. Okay? It can take you from, a 85 to an 82. Sure, maybe. But it's a lot more. When you get in a car crash, right? You can't blame the car for the car crash most times. 99.99% of the time, it's the driver. All right, that's all I'm saying. It's almost always the golfer and not the golf course. Last topic here, time. Oh, the dreaded time. Time commitment. I think people overestimate how much time it takes. I think people try to do it in giant blocks. They want to come out here and practice for 2 hours, 3 hours. And, a lot of the times I'm only out here for 30 minutes before I'm running to the next thing, whatever that may be. And I think maximizing, again, words, maximizing those shorter moments of time, that's where you can really separate yourself from, the people who only practice in 3-hour chunks. Not saying 3-hour chunks are bad, but
No, but 3-hour chunks are the same exact thing. Like, if you spend your whole range session hitting 7 irons to 1 pin, you're not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah.
Unless you're like working on a motion, you gotta switch up clubs. Like, one day I'll do odd clubs, next day I'll do evens, and then just work on it from there.
Yeah, I agree. It's people overestimate the time it takes. It's just consistency. It's kind of like going to the gym. You can go for 5 hours one day, you're not going to be good, or you're not going to be fit. But 30 minutes every day, and that'll be great.
Thank you for watching. If you know of a golfer that could use this, that could find this helpful, please share this with them. It would really make my day, and I'm sure it would make their day. I hope you have found this helpful, and thank you for watching.